Hi guys, Gabe here today. We're playing some more Ultrakill. Oh my god, why does my PC volume at it? Well, yep, that's the problem. I have no volume with UI. Anyways, yep, today we're playing more Ultrakill. Finally, after so long. That's not exactly what I do. Okay, okay, we're getting a lot of things. So I should watch this, and I should watch this, video to have some quality, but, since I want to get at least, I might not make it. Since I want to get a full week of videos out before Christmas, and that's why, oh fuck, I should really be talking right now. Watch this. Alright, this is the only one to 7 test, but... Whoop. Oh, we're gonna have to clip that one out. You know what, I'm gonna try anyways. Heavy steps. No, I'm not. Heavy steps. Rugged breathing. There isn't much time left. It might already be too late. The labyrinthine pathways of arbitrary sharp turns seemed stranger and stranger as panic blotted out the once deeply ingrained memories that usually guided me. Every chord felt a stranger. Every straight line too long. The bell tolls for me. I bit down harder on the last of my rations, held only by the skin of my teeth. It barely hung out as I kept frantically looking around, hoping for a few scraps of burning memory of mine to find a familiar sight that would lead me to salvation. The gates must be closing by now. Ah, we're barely making it. The rest of us never stood a chance. Suddenly, from a blind spot, a figure struck me. There was no time to react before I came crashing down on cold, hard ground. I struggled to regain my senses to at least see what fate would befall me in my final moments. But even this abyss of endless terror, my mind could never have imagined the horror I witnessed! Oof, ouch, ow, ouch, that stings. Are you okay? Well, I just got knocked over by some blind by choice asshole who gave my skirt a decorative skirt coating. So it all fucking fantastic, though I would prefer to not be on the ground right now. Hey, sorry about being rude like that. I'm just real frustrated that I'm not only late for school, but also managed to get lost on the way there. Though, by the looks of it, you're pretty much on the same boat. And by a stroke of what is lifetime luck, you just happen to bump into the prettiest girl in town. So how about I lead the way and get both of us out of this jam? I'm gonna be self for real right now. The old UI would have done better for this one. Actually, I'm lost too. Just by luck. Though, in retrospect, I guess you wouldn't be here with me right now if you weren't lost as well. Oh well, no point in crying over spilled blood. We might as well just wait for another student to come by and follow them instead. I'm Mirage. Don't bother telling me your name though. I don't really care. You could do with being a bit nicer to people you've only just met. Yeah, well you could do with being down, so fuck off. But yes, you're right. I don't really care about what you or anyone else thinks of me, so I'm not interested in trying to be nice so you'll be in a good mood. Why not? If we're stuck in here together anyway, what's the point of making it worse for both of us? What's the point of making it better? What's the point of even bothering to care? Hell, what's the point of anything at all? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, really, take a moment to think about it. The human mind, in its complete vastness, is capable of recognizing its utter helplessness and uselessness in the face of inevitable and unavoidable non-existence, but is capable of coming to terms with it. We can only ever ignore it, hide from it, or temporarily escape from it, but the fact is that we are bound under the way of all things. Death is unavoidable, not only to us, but all that exists or ever has existed. Every living being will eventually die out. Every speck of matter will eventually wither away and dissipate into entropy. It doesn't matter if you lived a good life, or if you left a legacy behind. It doesn't matter if humanity survives for 1,000 years or dies out tomorrow. The end result is the same, the absolute nothing. Human intelligence is far beyond that of other animals, but it would be misguided to consider that a gift. All other beings have the gift of ignorance, of not understanding what we do. Our intelligence is not a gift, it's a flaw. It's an overextension of evolution. Intelligence, once a great feature in aeons past, continued to grow unchecked and unfiltered, and has since passed a threshold whereupon it is no longer a benefit, but an active danger of its host. Much like the Irish elk, a species of deer that, through uncountable generations of evolution, grew antlers so wide and vast that it could no longer run from predators, eventually leading to extinction. The human mind is an evolutionary maladaptation caused by going too far in a direction that was once beneficial, and will, sooner or later, lead to its extinction. Or, on an individual level, it's already happening. Because existential threat is already taking hold. I'm sure you felt it too. The pain and fear of being nothing, becoming nothing, suffering of understanding that. We are unable to come to terms with it, so we hide from our own intelligence. We set limits. We stop ourselves from thinking deeply about what will happen when we die. We create distractions. We keep our minds busy with mundane activities and entertainment to stop ourselves from having to come face to face with the truth. We sublimate it. We transform our active suffering into another form, art, to keep it consuming us. Anything to avoid a panic. But these ways are all simply temporary. They're just there to push back the inevitable veil of helplessness and despair that would encompass and ruin us. In the end, nothing matters. There's no point in trying to find joy in life, for life in and of itself is suffering. You're wrong. Huh? You criticize who consider our vast intelligence a gift, and yet also misguide yourself to believe our meaninglessness is a curse. How could it not be? You know, nothing we do matters in the end, and that's precisely why we are not shackled by the burden of expectations, the fear of eternal judgment, or the failure to be up to an arbitrary definition of what makes our time not wasted. Time cannot be wasted, for there is no greater purpose to life than simply living it. But still, in that case, the meaninglessness of our actions draws the same conclusion. There is no reason to act, for any action is simply a temporary fluctuation that will, nevertheless, lead to the same conclusion. Quite the contrary. Because we have no greater purpose, we are free to set our own, to create self-defined goals for which to strive. For some it may be nothing, for some it may be pleasure, for some it may be creation, for some it may be improving the lives of others. It is because we have no greater purpose that time spent on goal set by oneself cannot be time wasted. In the end, nothing matters, and therefore you have no reason not to do what you want rather than whatever illusion of greater purpose is forced on you by others or even your own misguided thoughts. I do understand what you mean. However, that doesn't ease my fear of the end. Even if I were to try purpose, I would still be paralyzed by the thought of becoming nothing. And it is a thought or fearing. However, abandoning purpose, all choice, goals, pleasure, and will cannot thought disappear. The fear, however, can subside. Giving up is not accepting the end. It is simply accepting a fear of it. It is embracing despair rather than facing it. I see. Though, as much as I'd like to embrace it, I am nevertheless struck with that facing existential panic. I understand it logically, and I know that there is no reason to live in apathy, but my emotional side refuses to listen. The fear persists, and I can motivate myself to seek purpose, despite knowing I must. This is true. The emotional is not controlled by the logical. However, they are interlinked. Just as the deepest, darkest depths of despair can from reason and the logical, warping them to fit in that haze of depression, so too can is an influence and overpower emotion, regardless of how impenetrable its defenses may seem. By continually forcing to subvert those sweeping negative thoughts with positive logical ones, the emotion mind will eventually, slowly, gradually start to aim to fit the logical. And it's not an easy job. And it's not a quick job. It will sometimes feel like an impossible job. However, it can be done. With a heads amount of time, effort, and energy, it will improve. You can change. You can heal. And during the times when all seems lost you want to give up, never forget, we will always love you. Well, I'll be damned. Guess you got a good head on your shoulders after all. Hell, I'm impressed. Man, I feel like I've just had the weight of the world off my back. Or rather, you've done that for me. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You've given me a lot to think about. And while I'm sure I have a long road ahead of me, I'm optimistic. For the first time in what feels like an eternity, I'm optimistic. Say, we're already way too late for school, and it's become quite clear by now that nobody's going to come in us there. So how about you and I ditch that penitentiary and go grab some meat, eh? Yeah, sure, I've got nothing better to do today. More paying though. Ooh, you sneaky bastard. But alright. I do owe you one anyways. So, what better time to cash out your did a nice thing to a girl way out of my league coupon, and now, eh? And that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!